Has the last 20 years really been that bad? Well, I got some games for you guys. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 Miami Dolphin games from the last 20 years. Yes, the last 20 years have been, kind of for us, but I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to point out some really good games from the last 20 years. I actually had to do an honorable mention because I couldn't even think of the top 10. It was so hard for me. But before we jump into that, real quick, want to shout out a new Patreon, James Marshall. New Patreon, $4 Patreon. Thank you so much for being a Patreon, brother. I appreciate every single one of you guys that are being Patreons. If you don't know what that is, it's like a monthly service. I have different tiers. You get different like perks for different tiers. My top guys, that's when you guys come on, do live streams with me, which I'll be doing that again real soon. And then you become a moderator. You become a part of the Discord. I do have a Discord. So if you want to check that out, it's linked below. Don't feel like you need to. But James Marshall, thank you for being a new Patreon. Now let's jump into the top 10 games of the last 20 years. So if you look at the team over the last 20 years, right? We started out, I'm going to go back to 2000 until today. So again, my top 10 games from 2000 to today. But if you look at the team from 2000 till today, the records have been, to say the least, right? First, 2000, 2001, 11-5. Fantastic. 2002, 9-7, 10-6, and then 4-2. But then back to 9-7, 6-10, 1-5. You all know about that. 11-5, 7-9, 7-9, 6-10, 7-9, 8-8, 8-8, 6-10, 10-6, 6-10, 7-9, and 5-11. For the past 20 years, we've had 9 winning records and 11 losing records. So again, the past 20 years, a lot of people think what I would like to say, or a lot of like the negative Nancy's, or a lot of other people that don't like the Dolphins. We all know who they are. I like to say that we are a joke of a franchise. We are one of the worst franchises in the league. Not really. Not really. Because like I said, 9 out of the last 20 games, 20 seasons, we've had winning records. 8-8 or better. 8-8 is technically a winning record. 8-8 or better. And yeah, we've had 11 bad seasons. But it's going to be on the up and up. Let's talk. I'm going to stop talking about all that dreary stuff. Let's get into my top 10 games of the past 20 years. Now, I got some honorable mentions, right? I got the 2014. In 2014, I have 2 games that are honorable mentions against the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. 38-14 blowout against the Oakland Raiders and a 37-0 blowout against the San Diego Chargers, because they were San Diego at that time. Another game, honorable mention, 2003 Thanksgiving game against the Dallas Cowboys. 40-21 win. Jay Fiedler, Chris Chambers, Ricky Williams had a field day. The defense with Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, also a field day. Wearing our throwback jerseys at that point. Loving it. Loving it. And then this one I had a hard time, right? There was 2 games that I was like, which ones can I interchange? Which ones can I interchange? But this other one's going to get an honorable mention. I'm going to go a little bit in depth on the story of this one, but this one's going to get a little bit of honorable mention. The 2008 season against the Seattle Seahawks, Week 10, we win that game 21-19. Now, the reason this is an honorable mention, you're probably like, Doug, yeah, it's a 2008 game. And that's all fine and dandy, but why is this having any significance? Well, for one, I was at that game. And being at that game and seeing how all of us fans were interacting and all that stuff, the game was amazing. That was the game where we did the flea flicker, threw a touchdown pass to Ted Ginn. And my dad, funny thing, he got up to go get a beer. When he came back, he said he heard screaming. What happened? I said, flea flicker. Chad Pennington drops back, throws a dot to Ted Ginn in the end zone for a touchdown. You had that 51-yard touchdown run from Ricky Williams. But what really got me, and this is why I had a hard time not putting this in my top 10, because, again, it's my top 10 favorite games of the last 20 years. Cynical Wallace takes the Seattle Seahawks to the Miami Dolphins 49, right? They're only down by 2, right? At this point, there's 37 seconds left in the game. They spiked the ball, right? So they only have 3 downs now. They're only down by 2. Kick a field goal, you win the game, right? Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Now there's only 24 seconds left on the clock. It's 4th and 10. I kid you not. We are standing up, smacking the back of the chairs. That stadium was on their feet. It sounded like it was bouncing. And we stop him, incomplete pass. That's the game where Joey Porter throws his helmet off on the field. Oh my God, you would have thought that the stadium could have rocketed into space. That's why I had a hard time not putting that in my top 10, because being there, experiencing that, all that great stuff, one of my favorite games, and I was there. But my top 10 is going to start with the 2006 game against the Chicago Bears. Now, Doug, why 2006 game? What is significant about the 2006 game? Well, it's reminiscent of the 1985 game, because in week 9 of 2006, the 7-0 Chicago Bears were taking on the 1-6 Miami Dolphins. Now, if you know, you know. Second time, like I said, 1985, undefeated Chicago Bears taking on the Miami Dolphins. What happened then? Same thing happened now. The Miami Dolphins end up winning that game 31-13. Joey Harrington was our quarterback. Joey Harrington. Ronnie Brown, 29 carries, 157 yards, but Jason Taylor with that pick six seals the victory for the Miami Dolphins. That is my number 10 game, best game of the past 20 years, stopping the undefeated Bears again. 1985, hey, we'll do it again in 2006. My number 9 favorite game, best game of the last 20 years is the 2009 Monday night game against the New York Jets. Technically, they're New Jersey Jets, but against the New York Jets in our throwback alternate orange jerseys. Week 5, this was a back and forth game going against Chad Henne, going against Mark Sanchez. You got Rex Ryan on the sideline doing their thing. You know, we got Tony Sperano, Jersey boy. It's Rex, Sperano, Henne, Sanchez. Who would have thought Henne Sanchez would have been a good game, because they both suck. But you got Ricky, Ronnie. What makes this game for me? Again, it's a back and forth game, and it's a Monday night game that really had no implications on playoffs or anything like that. But the reason this is number 9 to me, again, this is my favorite, and the reason why it is where it is because 10 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and 2. The Miami Dolphins are on the Jets' 2-yard line. They're only down by 3. They can easily kick the field goal, go into overtime, and call it, hey, we'll take this one in overtime. But Tony Sperano's like, listen, I'm cheering like a madman for field goals all last year and all this year. Let's pull that Wildcat out. Ronnie, I want you to keep it and take it up the gut. He does, and the Miami Dolphins score a touchdown, end up winning that game 31-27. They had no timeouts left at this point. So if Ronnie Brown would have got tackled on that 2-yard line and didn't score the touchdown, the Jets would have won. They would have won 27-24. But nope. Ronnie Brown ran that sucker in, gets the touchdown. The Miami Dolphins win that game, and man, me and my dad and all my friends were losing our marbles that Monday night. It was late. And it was fantastic. Now we're jumping into number 8. My number 8 game of all of the last 20 years. My favorite. I think some of these are your favorite. 2004. Monday night. Another Monday night, Doug. Yes. 2004 Monday night. We're in New England. You guys know about this game? I feel like you guys know about this game. In New England, week 15, the 3-11 Miami Dolphins taking on the 12-2 New England Patriots. Can you predict how this one ended? I wonder if you knew that Tom Brady's going to throw 4 interceptions in that game. Yeah, he throws 3 touchdowns, but he throws 4 interceptions in that game. The Miami Dolphins end up winning this game 29-28. And who was their starting quarterback? A.J. Feely. Somebody we traded a 2nd-round pick to Philly for, which was a stupid move, an incredibly stupid move. But we get a touchdown, right? We leave a minute 45 on the clock. You know the announcers are saying, hey, you're giving Tom Brady minute 45. You know, it's 2004. He's already got a few Super Bowls under his belt. You leave a minute 45 on the clock. Tom Brady's going to be Tom Brady. He's going to do some great things. Oh, yeah? Well, at a minute 23... he throws an interception to Freeman, our free safety, and the game is over. Man, did I love this game. Now, again, to you guys, you might be like, hey, there's no big significance when it comes to playoffs and all that stuff. But the fact that a 3-11 Miami Dolphins beat the 12-2 team, I went into high school the next day rocking my jersey, as proud as can be for my team, to go into New England and do what we did. Loved it. Every minute of it. My number 7 game of the last 20 years. This one is my favorite. This one is one, again, top 10, but one of my favorites. My dad had to go to bed. It was too late. It was a Thursday night game. It was too late. You guys could probably guess what game this is. Thursday night, right? My dad had to go to bed. He's like, Doug, I have to go to bed. I got work in the morning. Again, he's a truck driver. Sometimes he has to be in at work. I think at that point he had to be in work at like 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, something like that. I kid you not. He goes, Dad, he goes, Doug, I can't watch this game. I have to go to bed. I said, all right. He had to go to bed. Like I said, truck driver had to go into bed early. This game goes into overtime. It's against the Cincinnati Bengals on Halloween. Yeah, you already know. You already know. Fun fact, I'm standing there watching the game, right? Watching this game. It's a back and forth game. Back and forth. Giovanni Bernard's doing his thing. We're doing our thing. Back and forth, back and forth. We go into overtime. We get the ball first. We punt. I'm like, oh, God. It's never good when you punt in overtime. You're like, they get the ball. They punt. I'm like, all right. We're going to get this. We're going to pull this one out. We're going to pull this one out. We punt. God, they get the ball. And then that beautiful man, you think he'd be on the edge. You think Cam Wake's on the edge. No, he goes on the inside. And he takes that center on. He swipes off that center. And he gets that walk-off safety. My dad actually comes downstairs to get ready for work. When right after that happened, he looked at me and goes, "You're still watching the game?" I said, "Yeah, Dad, it went to overtime. 3 punts, and we won it on a walk-off safety." Ridiculous. I've never been so happy in my entire life. My mother didn't get mad at me for screaming. I'm literally standing 2 feet away from the TV, screaming my head off when we got that walk-off safety. One of my favorite games of the last 20 years. My number 6 favorite game of the last 20 years. Now, this one is a given. You'd think this would be a little bit higher on my list, but I'll tell you why the other ones are higher. My number 6 happened in 2008. That's the second one in 2008 so far. The other one was honorable mention, but this is the second one in 2008, Doug. You guys already know. I got a premiere going. You guys already know what this one is in 2008. It's the Wildcat game. It's the Wildcat game in New England, Week 3. The Miami Dolphins start 0-2, losing to the Jets with Brett Favre. If you know why when he got drafted. And the Cardinals, they're 0-2. They break out that Wildcat, the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. At one point, he's on the sideline. It's never good when you see your coach flip through his cards and all his stuff. 38-13, we beat the living snot out of the New England Patriots with that Wildcat game. They had no idea what we were throwing at them. Ricky Williams gets a touchdown. Ronnie Brown gets a touchdown. Ronnie Brown gets the ball. Throws a touchdown to Anthony Fasano. And it started just this wave of the Miami Dolphins in 2008, going 11-5. And it was just watching the game in the bar with my father. You're like, oh, what is this? Okay. We score again, and you never expect to go into New England and do that. We score a touchdown. We score another touchdown. What is going on? New England doesn't know how to answer. They don't have Tom Brady. They got Matt Castle back there. And we are just completely owning that game. Absolutely love that game. Number 5. Now we're getting towards the midway point. This one, again, they didn't really have much of an impact when it came to making the playoffs and all that stuff. You kind of pick up what I'm putting down. This one's more one of my favorites, and it ranks up there in team history because this game in 2005 is the second biggest comeback in the Miami Dolphins history. The first biggest comeback was in 1974 against the New England Patriots when we came back from a 24-point deficit to win the game 34-27. This game, we came back from a 21-point deficit to win the game 24-23. I'm talking about the Week 13 game against the Buffalo Bills in 2005. This game is near and dear to my heart for multiple reasons, and I'll get to those. This game, you thought J.P. Lossman was the next best quarterback coming out of Buffalo. 21-3 at halftime. 21-3 at halftime. And you're thinking to yourself as a Dolphins fan, we're losing this game. At halftime, there's a Bills fan in the bar, yelled across the bar at me and my father, "You having fun yet?" Just ignoring him. By the beginning of the fourth quarter, Miami is down 23-3 because of a safety that knocks Gus Frerotte out of the game. Now Sage Rosenfeld comes into the game. You're down 23-3. Welcome to the game, Sage Rosenfeld. Do something against this Buffalo Bills team. And does the man do something against this Buffalo Bills team? 21 unanswered points. And the Miami Dolphins end up coming back. And in the last-second pass to Chris Chambers to win the game for the touchdown, we win 24-23. Chris Chambers has 15 receptions for 238 yards and a touchdown in this game. He had a costly fumble in the beginning of the game, but he for sure made up with that. I love this game. For the main reason that I had that Buffalo Bills fan say to me, "You having fun yet?" And when the game was over, that Buffalo Bills fan had nothing to say. When Chris Chambers caught that touchdown, I jumped into my dad's arms. He lifted me up. I almost hit my head on a ceiling fan in this bar. Love that game. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. My number 4. This one happened in 2018. Can you guess what this game is? Happened in 2018. Can you guess what this game is? I'm talking about the Miami Miracle. It's got to be top 5. Now you might be thinking to yourself, hey, what are the other 3 games that you're talking about that is better than the Miami Miracle? Well, I'll get to them, but let's talk about the Miami Miracle. The New England Patriots, it was a back-and-forth game. It was actually a pretty good game. Back and forth. The New England Patriots kick a field goal. 20 seconds left on the clock after the kick return and all this other stuff. Miami ends up having 7 seconds left on the clock. 7 seconds. And you think to yourself, we need a miracle to win this game. There's no way. They're gonna go and prevent defense, and there's no way we're gonna be able to get down the field. So what do? We throw a pass. Ryan Tannehill throws a pass to Kenny Stills, who then ladders it to Devontae Parker, who then ladders it to Kenyon Drake. And then the rest is history. But I will say this. 1, Gronkowski being back there. Thank you very much, Bill Belichick, for making another stupid decision. He's made a few. He's made a few costly 4th down calls, especially against the Colts. Shouldn't have done. But number 62, Ted Larson, made a huge block that let Kenyon Drake get open enough to score that game. And it's one of those games where you cannot be more happy to have been in that stadium and to watch it on the TV, because it's something you rarely ever see. And I didn't mean to rhyme. My number 3 best game of the past 20 years. And it happened in 2016, and it was against the Buffalo Bills, Week 16. This game, Christmas Eve, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Craziness. Absolute craziness. I was listening to it, driving out of my grandmother's house, and I'm just like, come on. Like, yes, we did so. Oh, yes. Oh, come on. And the Miami Dolphins take this sucker to overtime. Take it to overtime. Jay Ajayi had a fantastic game. 32 attempts, 206 yards, and a touchdown. A big, huge break-off run to put us in position to kick that field goal in overtime for the Miami Dolphins to win 34-31 and clinch a playoff spot before Week 17. The first time we've been in the playoffs since 2008. Since 2008. And we clinched it. You know how good it felt to go into Week 17? Like, it don't matter. We're in the playoffs. It don't matter. We'll rest our starters. When was the last time we were like, hey, we'll rest our starters last week because we're clinched in the playoffs? Loved every minute of that game. But also, that game, oh my God, my anxiety was at like a 49. It broke the scale. Absolutely broke the scale. Now we're up to my top 2. My top 2 favorite games of the last 20 years. This number 2 one happened a long time ago. It happened about 20 years ago. This one is the overtime win against the Baltimore. This one is the overtime win against the Indianapolis Colts in the wild card. Yes, I'm talking about Lamar Smith, 40 attempts, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns being a walk-off touchdown to help us win in the playoffs 23-17 against Peyton Manning. Jay Fiedler had an absolute horrible game in that game, but Lamar Smith is the reason, and that defense, why we won that game. And it is the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game. And that is why it's my number 2. It's because it's been 20 years since the Miami Dolphins have won a playoff game. It has been 20 years since we've been to the playoffs, but it's been 20 years, and it's significant. And that's why it's my number 2. But my number one favorite game of the last 20 years happened in 2008. You guys already know what it is. 2008, week 17. They flexed the game to a night game. The Miami Dolphins going to New Jersey to take on Brett Favre. It's Brett Favre, but Brett Favre, who took over the Jets. Hey, I'm going to retire from the Green Bay Packers. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to hang them up. Psych. I'm going to the Jets. I'm going to quarterback for the Jets. So then Chad Pennington gets thrown to the curbside. The Dolphins like, hey, man, it's about a few days, a week before preseason 1. Why don't you come on down to Miami? We'll sign you. You'll come in, you'll do your thing like a chicken wing, and we'll see what we could do with this season. Oh, fast forward to the last game of the schedule. Miami Dolphins with Chad Pennington. We need to win this game. We already know that New England beat Buffalo 13-0. So now New England's sitting back. Hey, if the Jets beat the Dolphins, we win the division, we go into the playoffs. But if the Dolphins beat the Jets, they win the division, they go into the playoffs. This game was just ridiculous. Us Dolphin fans sitting on the edge of our seats watching that game. Ted Ginn has a nice touchdown. Chad Pennington's doing his thing. Fasano's doing his thing. Defense is doing their thing, getting after Brett Favre. We got that fumble. We got that interception from that big-ass defensive end, who then, in turn, Brett Favre gets injured from trying to tackle him. And the Miami Dolphins come out and they win that 24-17, and we win the division for the first time in a very long time. And that's my number one. It's my number one for exactly what I'm telling you. We won the division. And it was a great game. Absolute great game. Nail biter. You got Chad Pennington going back to the New York Jets after they cut him. Literally, the beginning of that season, going back, showing it, throwing it in their face, and winning the division. That's my number one. There's some other ones that I could probably add to the list, like the Jay Ajayi Pittsburgh Steelers game, the Buffalo Bills game at home. There's some other honorable mentions, but this is my top 10. Be sure to comment below. I want to know what your top 10 is. I want to know what you think of my top 10. But yeah, be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. Comment of the day for right now is more of me just thanking you guys. I put a video out late Saturday night, and most of you guys saw it yesterday, making a huge announcement about my life behind the scenes, how my fiance is pregnant, and we found out it's a little girl, how I'm getting a house, and I got a lot of big things happening in my life, and I just want to thank you guys, right? I didn't expect the video to get that many views, because if it's not about Dolphins, I understand that no one really gives a crap about it. And the fact that so many of you guys watched it, so many of you guys gave it a thumbs up, some of you guys gave it a thumbs down, and I hope you guys get diarrhea in a very inconvenient spot. So many nice comments, so many congratulations, so many people hitting me up and emails and all that. I just, for comment of the day, I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being so respectful, so nice, like it just warmed my heart that you guys watched it. And you were like, congratulations, man. And you guys gave me so much advice, because a lot of you guys have kids of your own. And I just want to thank you guys. So for comment of the day, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos, for subscribing, for being Patreons, for doing live streams, for donating, for everything. Without you guys, I'm not who I am. I'm not where I am. And I'm not going where I'm going. And I just want to thank you guys. So, yeah. But that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I have a ton of videos planned. I'm going to start doing my training camp battle videos. It'll probably start Wednesday. We'll start with the quarterbacks. I'm going to kind of look at each position, see who's going to battle who's trying to make the team, all that stuff. So that's going to be happening. But be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Again, a lot of you guys been doing that on Twitter too. I greatly appreciate that. Be sure to check out the Bit Boys. We got some cool gameplay coming out over there. Fan to Fan Network. It's going to be happening soon, so be sure to check that out. Link is below. Also, don't forget to check out DolphinsTalk.com, a very, very great Dolphins site. But other than that, guys, I will check you out in the next video Wednesday. I'm going to start my camp battle position video. But like usual, stay classy. Again, thank you guys so much. And fins up.